What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the crew 2, and well, as y'all know, it is Wednesday, which means the new summit is now live, and for this week we have the Polar Rush, which I have a feeling this summit is going to be very interesting for many players here. But before we jump into that, let's take a look at the rewards and the upcoming summits right now as well. So in Platinum we have the Neon Pink Tire, which is basically the same as the Gold one, but it's going to be pink there. Then in Gold we have the 812 Super Fast Parts, which I do believe that's just giving you some parts you do not have to buy for the vehicle. And then moving down to the Wolfguard Summit, we're going to have the Wolfguard Rooftop in Platinum, which does look kind of cool. I do think that's very detailed for the most part. Then in Gold, we have the Legendary Boosted set for the Rallycross class, which I do think that is going to be worth going after because we all know the Nitro Chemist set is basically the one you're going to want when racing. Then taking a look at this summit, I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. It does look like the event on the top here is going to be a stunt race, so that one's probably going to be on the interesting side for many players. I know not a lot of people are big fans of these kind of events. Then on the bottom, we're going to have another motocross event, which I know a lot of players are probably tired of doing those. And then moving over to the last summit of episode 1 here is going to be the Dominion Kings, which I'm looking forward to doing this one as well, because that Nissan 370Z Dominion Edition looks awesome. It's also going to be in the street class, it looks like, instead of the drift class. Looking forward to trying out that vehicle to see how it might compare to some of the better ones. Then in gold we have the yellow Nitro, which that is going to be pretty straightforward. Then finally we have the other part of the legendary half set boosted for the Rallycross class. So I would say the two upcoming summits are going to be a lot of fun, and we also get to end this episode with another vehicle. And now moving over to this week's summit, starting off here with the Escape. So for this one I did end up running the Koenigsegg Regera, which I would say is probably going to be the best vehicle because you do have to jump down a mountain with a hypercar, which really does not make any sense in the same sentence for that matter, but you're going to have to do this with one of the hypercars to probably get the highest score possible. And the reason why I recommend the Regera for this is because you do not have to shift it. When you're jumping off the mountain, you could literally just hit your nitrous and do over 200 miles an hour pretty fast. If you guys are not in the right gear in like a Bugatti, then the car's not going to go fast enough. And then sometimes it might also go too slow if you're not in the right gear as well. So I would say the Regera is probably going to be the best option. And then moving over to the aerobatics skill here is going to be pretty straightforward. For this one, I ended up running the Zivko Edge 540, which I do believe this is the only plane I pretty much use now. But I'm planning on testing out other air race planes in the future to really see how they could compare to this one and the Harmon Rocket. And now moving over to the Speed Trap, I do think this one's going to be on the interesting side as well. So there is a couple of different ways you can do this to get over 100,000 points. I had a few friends actually run planes on this as well. Personally, I found the Alpha GP car to be the funnest way to do this because you can basically nitrous into it doing over 290 miles an hour. I do feel like this is going to be the easiest way to do this. Now, if you guys really wanted to, you could run a drag car, but I found that to be kind of frustrating. And luckily, the Alpha GP vehicle can still get a really good score on this. And then moving over to the Alpha GP race here will be a no restriction. I do believe they actually did the scoring on this one a little bit differently. Now for this one I did end up running the KTM Expo R, which I have a feeling is going to be the best overall Alpha GP car in the entire game. Even though the Expo does have a lower top speed, I do highly recommend trying this car out on this because the agility of this vehicle on a track is going to be unmatched. I would also say the Spear Racing ED from that Motor Pass a while ago might be the other best Alpha GP car in the game. I do highly recommend using the KTM Expo R over the other Alpha GP vehicles for this event though, because of the way this car has agility compared to those. I feel like this is definitely going to be the best option. Now moving over to the next event is going to be a Powerboat race, which personally I don't think this one's going to be all that fun for many players either. The Porto Offshore really isn't that bad of a boat. I do think it's going to be more of this event for that matter. The biggest tip I can give here, guys, is to get past the AI as fast as you possibly can, because the wake they leave behind their boat are going to massively slow you down, so make sure you get past them. For this, I recommend in the beginning going to the right and basically nitrosing past all of them. Once you're in front, you're pretty much good to go after that, and also be a little careful around some of the turns, because you will massively slow down when using this boat. Now, I'm sure many players already know this, but the theme around this summit is basically going to be snow and ice, so I did notice it being in every single event, including the street race as well. The BMW M5 is actually not a bad car, and I did do pretty decently on this one. I could probably do a little bit better if I stopped sliding around the turns like I was, but luckily the BMW does handle pretty decently with the actual build I have on it. But for this event, you're just going to want to be careful around the turns, because I noticed if you go a little bit too fast, the car is going to slide. I did end up fixing that a good amount with the build I have have on my vehicle, so I do recommend trying that out. And now moving over to the drift event, I do think this one's going to throw some players off as well. For me, I wanted to run the Dodge Charger RT Hemi because I literally have never used this vehicle on anything. I threw a little build on it and I did mess with it a bit because the cars are going to slide a lot on this event. I would highly recommend using the Pro Drift on this or something like the Mazda RX-7 like my friend did there. That's probably going to be the best option. The Dodge Charger really is not a good vehicle for this. But even though the Charger isn't going to be a great vehicle for this, I still had a really good time using it, and I do like testing out really odd vehicles on these summits, because I really do want to see what vehicles can do good even though a lot of them aren't being used all that often. And then moving over to the Rally Raid event, I did end up running the Ram 1500 Rebel once again. This is definitely probably not going to be the best option for this because this vehicle only does 170. The Raptor Enforcer unit actually does like 180 or so, or it's even faster than that. So that's probably going to be the best option to use, and or, something that's going to be quicker than the TRX for that matter. But I would say pretty much any of the Rally Raid vehicles can probably get a decent score on this, but the ones that have the higher top speed are really going to have the advantage here. And then the final race in the summit, you will be able to drive an Alpha GP car in a street event, and there's also going to be snow and ice on the ground as well. The Red Bull RB14 really isn't that bad of a car. I personally haven't used this thing all that much, but I do plan on testing out some of the other Alpha GP vehicles to really see how they do compared to the lovely KTM Expo. But one of the biggest tips I can give on this event, guys, is to lower the tire grip on your vehicle just a little bit. I do recommend trying the build I have on my Alpha GP car as well. But I would definitely say this race is going to be on the annoying side for many players because I think the snow and the ice are going to make the F1 cars pretty hard to drive. But if you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into this summit.
2, 1.
Okay.
One. Three, two, one. One.
Okay.